This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are here with Lofgren, our therapist, coach, and speaker whose work really invites people to live more fulfilled, meaningful, and purpose-driven lives. People reach out to her to move from feeling stuck to taking empowered action in their lives. So again, we are ecstatic to have our friend here, Lylan, talking to us about Return to Connect, which is really her process, helping people to achieve goals. So thank you so much for sharing this with our listeners. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Thanks for asking. I am doing really well. I just had a 4-day sort of retreat workshop, learning about over 20 years of research on reversing the effects of trauma and stress by doing micro habits and nervous system resets. It really helped reinforce the work that I do. And then I felt really invigorated. And I'm so lucky that for my job, I get to do things to practice self-care. And then when people come to me, I get to help teach them these skills and practices that are effective and work and based on research with thousands and thousands of people. It's really helpful. And just to help people get out of survival mode and go on to meeting their dreams and getting their responsibilities done and just doing life. So yeah, thank you for asking. How are you doing? And what's
I'm
a trick that you might have for getting all of your things done?
Oh, my trick? It's not. I don't get everything done. I mean, I put the priority, like it's my kids and it's getting the food on the table, it's getting them fed, dressed, and out. And then I lack with my own self-care. My house is a disaster. My desk here at work is a disaster. So it's kind of hard to do everything. And then you got a week like this, it's Halloween. There's all these different Halloween parades and parties and stuff for the kids. So it's like football season. We're tackling, literally tackling the playoffs. It's just a lot going on. It's like I'm the Energizer Bunny. Doesn't mean I'm doing well in all aspects, but I just keep going and going. And yeah, I do like my coffee. That does help a little bit, but sometimes you feel like you're in survival mode, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when it starts, it's a lot of times that coffee is a beautiful, helpful short-term coping mechanism. And then it's helpful to know when am I in survival mode, and that taking things off of the to-do list. What is the most important? What brings me the most joy? Doing the Halloween things, showing up for your kids. That's really beautiful to say, yep, maybe I don't need to clean all of the things this week because I have extra things to do. But that survival mode, that running on adrenaline, is something that a lot of times people come to me and they don't realize they're in survival mode, which sometimes we call fight, flight, freeze, and appease mode, or sometimes we say fawn instead of appease. Sometimes culturally we feel like we're not allowed to rest. Sometimes we feel trapped. We don't feel like we get to have the life where we get to rest. And sometimes we don't know what equanimity is. And then when I get to meet with people individually, and sometimes in groups, I ask a lot about tiredness and fatigue and energy levels. And if a person is able to get many things done, but still not feeling rested, sometimes that's not very sustainable. So we begin to practice ways, that's that returning to connect. We begin to practice ways to return to feeling resourced, return to feeling nourished in order to connect more effectively and even efficiently getting things done. Um, and so, and then sometimes we have that process where people are in crisis mode and it's hard for them to come out of that crisis mode and they feel like they just can't feel rested. And sometimes that can lead to addiction. It can lead to going back into crisis mode or creating lots of crisis. Um, and I definitely feel that sometimes I'm in high energy mode, and then it's hard for me to get out of that high stress place. And I I get to that place sometimes. I talk with friends. I go out in nature.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go for a walk. I do lots of nervous system reset practices. How about for you? Do you feel like sometimes it's hard for you to get out of like high go mode?
Always. I'm never out of high go mode. It really is. There's no rest and there's no relief for me, to be honest, ever. It's just the way it is, and it's weighing on me mentally, emotionally, but I just don't know how else to handle it. I guess God, I always say, only gives you what you can handle. Doesn't mean you're gonna be okay with it, but I feel like there's really there's no rest in my life. So I don't know if that's a good thing. And if there's a crisis, it's just let life and work and kids and doing everything just goes on for me. So I know there's just so much to do and there's a lot of overwhelm with that. So
Wow. So I'm
you give
wondering
me
if,
relief by talking about it. Thank you.
yes, all right, super excellent. So and I'm wondering if we could practice that butterfly hug again together and at least
Yes,
just
yes.
maybe 15 seconds of
And
that.
honestly, it's kind of like work is a little bit of a relief for me to sit here and get to talk to people like yourself. Honestly, that's kind of all I got, but it's not bad. It's really
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, that's well, that's great if that's something that brings you to being present. That's a pretty good thing that you get to do that for your job.
Yes.
And we'll get
Yes.
ready to go. I'll give a little introduction. So EMDR
Oh,
is
for
eye
people.
movement, yeah, desensitization and reprocessing. And it's a kind of evidence-based therapy. It treats so many conditions and so many symptoms. It stimulates your brain and your body, and you don't really have to focus on talking about the traumatic stress or stressful stories. And then we're going to practice just one part of a whole protocol called the butterfly hug. And I'll talk us through it so that we know what we're doing. And if there's listeners who can't do the things, who can't cross their arms over, you can just tap your fingers exactly where you are. You can tap your toes where you are. And if you can't have a sense of thinking about something nice or feeling something nice, that's okay, but just do the counting part. Um, and it takes me a little bit longer to walk through it, but once you get started doing it for yourself, it takes 15 seconds. And we have over 1,400 people in our meetup group called Return to Connect, and we get to practice together on Mondays at 2 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And it's so powerful to get to practice together. So let's get started. So we can cross our arms over so that our hands are touching either side, either the opposite arms. And then we think of something nice, something pleasant, and we think of the details of that
Okay.
uh, until we notice a shift in our body. Sometimes that's a smell, sometimes it's a texture, sometimes it's something that we see. And then once we feel that shift, we tap alternate sides, so sets of two to the count of 10. And go 1, 2, 3,
Four,
4,
five,
5,
six,
6,
seven.
7, 8, 9, 10. So that is the butterfly hug. We get to stop. So in your busy, busy day, it takes 15 seconds, resets our nervous system a little bit. How about that? How is that for you?
I like it. I get a little,
Yeah,
I
good.
notice it in my neck. I feel like as you're talking, my neck is what's like relaxing more. You said everybody notices a little bit differently, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's so powerful. We have over 3 decades of brain research, EEGs, MRIs showing us that just by practicing this, bothering both sides of our brain, we get to use our hippocampus, which is a part of our brain that sort of can shut down when we're in high stress mode or that fight, flight, freeze, or appease mode. And there's so many good things about the butterfly hug. One, we're
Wow.
just giving ourselves a minute to say, I'm thinking of something nice, and that gives us a nice feeling for our eyeballs to see, for our body to go into that nice mode. We're saying, hey, I'm worth pausing and giving myself a good feeling, and there are tools that are available for me. And then even if that isn't available, sometimes folks can't feel that nice thing because there is stress, there is depression, there is anxiety, there's the to-do list running in the head. So you don't feel the benefit. You're still benefiting because you're bothering both sides of your brain and you're laying down actual new neural networks to help you create those pathways so that you have a place to go when you are in crisis mode. I encourage people to do this every day just for 15 seconds. They can do it when they're brushing their teeth. They can do it with their cup of coffee, whatever habit you already have. It takes 15 seconds. It's free. It doesn't have any side effects. The investment is 15 seconds. You can share it with somebody else to do. And when you share it with somebody else, it's intimacy building, it's sharing something positive, and you can give it away as many times as you like. I really enjoy that. A lot of times, some people feel like there are lots of pop psychology phrases like follow your bliss or live your best life. And I feel like this is not really available to me. And a lot of times that's because we're in survival mode. We're just barely, sort of paddling so hard to breathe. It's hard to imagine getting rest. And then here's a way where we can just takes 15 seconds to do, and we can share that. And the more minutes or seconds that we can string together of reliably giving ourselves that nourishment and that rest, we get to work towards our goals, and reset our nervous system to be more in a restful place.
All right, thank you so much. And what are the things this is this helping us with, would you say? I don't know if you
Yeah,
heard me.
so
Yeah, if
the
if there's a
that
delay. What
those
other things can it help with in somebody?
pieces of especially, check, check, one, two, three. Are you able to hear me?
You're just breaking up a sec.
You're not able to hear me?
I hear you. It's just a little broken up.
Oh
I think that's
no,
why I was asking you
that's too
something and
bad.
it looks like you didn't hear
Um,
me. I'm sorry.
okay.
But elaborate a little further, I'll just say. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. Sure, sure, that's great. I can hear you perfectly. So for me, what this can help with is anytime you say, "Oh gosh, that's something I shouldn't have said," or "I knew I shouldn't have done that," or whether it's scrolling too much on your phone or having less patience, any of those places where we know we're not fully resourced. This is something that if we're practicing on a regular basis, it helps it be an available tool so that when we are in an upset space, we have this tool to help us get back to, we can still feel our upset, we're still going to have our emotions, but it is the ability to take a different action. It's just like giving us a little cushion of a few seconds to make the decisions that we want to make or take the actions that we want to from a very resourced place, from a safe place, from that place where we don't have to look back and have regret or say, oh, I reacted instead of acted, or I I did something that I didn't want to do. It just gives us a lot more cushion to have all of our resources on board and to get to use all our whole selves. So sometimes we say our adult selves.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Oh my goodness. So also, you've been doing this work, Leland, for a long time. And what do you say? I mean, for those that don't know, what actually got you into this practice? And clearly you believe in it and you see the benefits and how it's helping people. But just for those who haven't been on the show yet, could you just share?
Sure, sure. So definitely I grew up with an East Coast mentality. It was kind of like if you weren't 16 with a PhD and running your own business, you were behind. And sometimes it feels like that all the time. There's just a grind that you have to get to and a standard of you haven't done enough, you have to do more, and sometimes you don't know how to not take on more or how to take care. And that's not part of the culture, or it didn't feel like it was part of the culture for me. And so a lot of the learning to um, take care of myself took a lot of retraining, and there were a lot of mindset shifts. There were a lot of just basic skills and tools and habits that I had to learn. And so, as I get to learn them, because as a social worker, I see a lot of people in that situation. As a coach, as a speaker, I speak to groups with those circumstances and being able to say, hey, this is based on research, this is based on helping lots of people effectively, and I have actually tried it and it works for me, then I get to share it honestly and authentically that it's something that helps other people. And it's to me that is a lot of my life purpose comes from that. A lot of meaning comes from that for me, connecting with people deeply and seeing their lives improve and seeing a sense of safety and security be restored so that we can be better in our community and meet our goals is a pretty wonderful space to be in.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And we're here with our clinical social work and therapist, and you're based out of it's California. Where specifically?
Yeah, so I am online right now. I've just moved. I've lived in San Luis Obispo, California for 24 years, and I'm moving down to Southern California. But I travel up to the Bay Area or East Bay Area, and I also travel to the East Coast. I'll be in New Jersey this week. So I'm very lucky. I get to be online and work with people, and also get to be with people in my life who are all
Yeah.
over the country. Yeah.
So, telehealth sessions, obviously, she's
Yeah.
offering, and you work with individuals, families, couples as well, and you specializing though a little further, if you don't mind, just if this is true, is it that you specializing still with a lot of trauma, grief, those who've suffered like PTSD?
Yes, yes. So I've had specialties over my career with working with trauma. So I give talks, I provide CEUs for other therapists on trauma therapy, on mindfulness psychology, and on sex and sex therapy. So I have a few different specialties that I do. And EMDR and EFT tapping are two ways EMDR in particular sometimes is associated with PTSD and CPTSD treatment in particular, but the tools from EMDR are applicable really across the board, and we can help nourish our brains and make those transformations that we want to make when we are fully resourced using EMDR and using tools from practices that may have a lot of research may be on PTSD, but we use them in all places in our lives. Yeah.
And what else did you want to make sure we cover for today? If you don't mind elaborating, we still have more time. And, I know you always have powerful messages, but what in particular do you think, about the work is really helpful to so many?
I think that the idea of just that you're worth taking care of, you're worth taking care of well, period. But if you're in caregiver mode or you value altruism, then it's important that you know that taking care of yourself very well is a model of teaching other people to take care of themselves very well. And if we are in caregiving mode, if other people take care of themselves well, it's less work for us. And living that example of taking care of ourselves is a service to ourselves and to our community. We show up differently, and that there are so many resources available to help you on that journey, whatever your availability for time is, whatever your space is. You don't have to take a 4-day workshop like I get to do. And one of the things is that I'd love for people to join. It's a free group on Mondays. It's 15 minutes, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. California time, 2 p.m. New Jersey time. And um, yeah, if you're feeling like you're distracted or you're stuck or you're in survival mode, you're welcome to reach out to me. I really feel confident that we'd be able to help you go on that journey together to meet your goals and achieve your dreams. And sometimes it can just start with a 15-minute introductory call, and it's not a huge step that you have to take.
Got it. Did you want to share any stories this week of any clients, obviously without using their names, some of the things that you're able to, work on with them to really, help in a sense?
Sure. I will share maybe more from a distant past, so I'm not exposing anybody currently. Um, yeah, I remember working with someone who Oh, that's a coffee story. Well,
Ah,
anyway, it was someone who was in go mode. She was drinking 12 cups of coffee a day and was having difficulty getting over a relationship, a breakup. And we looked at rest, we looked at care, and she was never feeling rested. And we did lots of different nervous system resets. We did lots of different nourishing practices until she could let go of one more cup of coffee, let go of another, started drinking decaf, and feeling actually rested. And then so many other things became uh, moved into place for her in the right proportions, so that there was grief over the loss of the relationship, but she was able to move on because there was a sense of well-being and also just of resourcefulness, that there would be other relationships that she could meet her needs. And that was a really beautiful journey that was very clear from start to finish. Yeah.
great. And anything you want to leave off with for today with your listeners about why they should reach out?
Sure. I would just say I really enjoy working with folks, and I have lots of opportunities for folks to meet me so they can see me in the group on Mondays. They can have an introductory call. I also do small groups so that folks can have just whatever your time constraint is. I like to have an option so that folks can um, access care in whatever way that works that's tailored right for them. So yeah, for sure.
Great. And how can we reach out to you personally? Could you share? I know Psychology Today, we can find you if we just Google your name, but is there a certain website you want us to go to, a phone number, any social media page?
Sure, lofgrentherapy.com. So that's my last name, lofgrentherapy.com. And also on meetup.com, I have a group called Return to Connect. That's how folks can also find out and sign up for the Monday meetings. And then my phone number, anybody's welcome to give me a call or text. It's 805-762-4598. Again, 805-762-4598. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the day and looking forward to next week.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.